What's up, music lovers? Thanks for clicking on my channel. Soundgarden is easily my favorite of the big four grunge bands, and Chris Cornell was one of the greatest singers of all time, so I figured now would be as good of a time as any to count down their 20 best songs. Before we start, if you like hard rock, heavy metal, progressive rock, music in general, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, all that YouTube stuff. With that self-promotion out of the way, let's start talking about some Soundgarden. Coming in at number 20 is Tighter and Tighter from Down on the Upside. That intro riff is so low and heavy, and Matt Cameron's tom beat just makes it feel so much more full. I love the way Chris Cornell plays with our expectations, where a lot of the times his vocal performance on the chorus is a little bit more subdued until we get to the end. The intro solo is amazing, and Kim is just soloing all over this song, so it's an easy pick for number 20. Coming in at number 19 is Non-State Actor from King Animal. God, I love this song. I love the riff and I love the lyrics. The biting sense of irony that Chris Cornell has in his voice when he delivers the line, "and will settle for a little bit more than everything," is perfect. I also love the guitar tone. It's a bit distorted but not quite, so it still has a bit of pop to it. Non-State Actor is just perfect and an easy song to pick for number 19. Coming in at number 18 is Beyond the Wheel from Ultra Mega OK. Hey, have you ever wondered what it would sound like if Soundgarden did their version of Candlemass and Chris Cornell just went all out being a 1980s power metal singer? Well, Beyond the Wheel is the answer, and it's awesome. Chris Cornell's vocal performance is just beyond incredible, not just because of the performance itself, but it shows how he evolved as a singer, and on this track he really does sound like Jeff Tate or Michael Kiske, and it's really cool to hear. Add in the doomy riffs and the slow plodding tempo, and yeah, like I said, it's Candlemass as done by Soundgarden, and I think that Beyond the Wheel is a song that kind of flies under the radar, but you should definitely check it out. Coming in at number 17 is Rhinosaur from Down on the Upside. The verse has a really great melody, the song is rock steady, grooves really hard, and has a great solo by Kim. Down on the Upside is kind of an overlooked album. It has a lot of great songs on it. It just kind of had the misfortune of coming right after Super Unknown. Speaking of which, coming in at 16 is 4th of July from Super Unknown. The droning drop C riff is really hypnotic, and Chris Cornell's vocals add to that feeling. I love how the higher octaves that he's singing are mixed lower so they kind of feel like they're far away. It just adds to the song having this vibe of wandering in this dreamscape and kind of going on a bad trip. This is the song that I think would be playing if you were like walking through a Salvador Dali painting. Coming in at number 15 is Room 1,000 Years Wide from Bad Motorfinger. That intro riff and Chris's in the beginning, along with just how much of a pounding, driving song this is, would have been enough to get it up in the top 20, but then out of nowhere you have a saxophone solo, so that really sealed the deal. If you watch some of my other videos, you would know how I feel about saxophones and rock and metal. My view is positive. I'm in favor of them. Coming in at number 14 is Jesus Christ Pose, also from Bad Motorfinger. Matt Cameron reminding me why he's one of my favorite drummers of all time. Chris Cornell belting out vocals about religious hypocrisy, and that bass. That bass is fucking nice. Coming in at number 13 is Holy Water from Bad Motorfinger. The same lyrical subject matter as Jesus Christ Pose, but a completely different take from a musical perspective. The alternate drop tuning is really out there, and the way that Matt Cameron picks up the drum beat during the chorus while Chris is just holding out those notes, perfect. Coming in at number 12 is New Damage, also from Bad Motorfinger. This song has a lot of the same things that Holy Water has going for it, but the screeching guitar intro and Chris Cornell's wails just add a bit more intensity, and that's what gives it the edge when compared to Holy Water. That's why it's 12. Coming in at number 11 is Outshined, also from Bad Motorfinger. Jeez, it's like Bad Motorfinger's a good album or something. You get that super heavy 7/4 riff that just feels so smooth, and I absolutely love the way that the feedback is held out on those long notes. Also, from a lyrical perspective, this is the first time that Chris Cornell is kind of wearing his heart on his sleeve, and that's an idea that he would explore to much greater effect and much more frequently on the next album. The line "can't get any lower, still I feel I'm sinking" is one that really sticks with me whenever I hear this song. Okay, and coming in at number 10 is Never the Machine Forever from Down on the Upside. That bass intro instantly catches your attention, and it just slams into that unbelievably heavy riff with Chris Cornell wailing away. It's just such a punch to the face. You instantly get put on notice that this song is a banger, and before you know it, the song's over. It's really short and to the point, and leaves you wanting more, but in a really good way. Coming in at number 9 is Rusty Cage from Bad Motorfinger. Chris Cornell once described this song as Hillbilly Sabbath, and yeah, it's pretty good way of describing it. That section of the song's great, but when you come to the breakdown at the end, that's when the song enters the next level. It's so tight that you don't even realize that it's not in 4/4 until you actually count it out. If I remember correctly, it's either in 15 or 17/8. Either way, the band is just grooving so hard, and it's once again an example of Matt Cameron being able to take a really odd time signature and just make it sound like it's 4/4, no problem. Coming in at number 8 is Burden in My Hand from Down on the Upside. As much as I love this song, I am not following anyone into the desert. It has sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating. I don't like that. I love the acoustic guitars, the vocal melody in the verse, the hook in the chorus, and from a production standpoint, I think that this might be Soundgarden's most layered song. Soundgarden always makes sure that it's not just a riff or a chord progression, but that there's always something else there to catch your ear and to give the song more depth, and I think that Burden in My Hand is kind of like their crowning achievement from that perspective. Coming in at number 7 is Slaves and Bulldozers from Badmotorfinger. The bass intro is grimy as hell, but let's be honest, this song is the Chris Cornell show because it might just be his best vocal performance, which is really saying something. My god, the way he hits those high notes in the chorus, especially on lines like "There's no more rides for free" or "So eat your heart out," it is incredible. This was the track that convinced Rage Against the Machine to ask Chris Cornell to sing for Audioslave. And I remember one time I was driving with a friend who said, "Oh yeah, I don't think Chris Cornell's that good. He's always singing the lower register." And I was like, stop, hold up, nuh-uh. I played him this song and his mind was blown. If you've never done it, I highly recommend you just check out the isolated vocals from this song here on YouTube. Yeah, Slaves and Bulldozers, incredible. Coming in at number 6 is Fell on Black Days from Super Unknown. This is the first Soundgarden song I ever fell in love with, and the guitar tones on this track are some of the best you'll ever hear. The lyrics do such a good job of describing how it feels to struggle with depression over the years, and the line, "Whosoever I've cured, I've sickened now," is one that used to really stick with me on a personal level. And it's really sad that Chris was dealing with these feelings for years upon years, but this is at least a great piece of art that came from it. By the way, I mentioned this book in my video about the top 20 Alice in Chains songs as well, but if you are struggling with depression and you want someone to help out, I highly recommend checking out the book Feeling Good by Dr. David Burns. As someone who struggled with depression for years and years, and it still sometimes pops up, this book has been the best thing I've ever read, and the only thing that actually gave me anything to like latch on to that I could do to make myself feel better. So, you know, talk to people, see a professional if you have to, but this book is something that has really helped me, and if you can relate to these lyrics a little bit too much as well, I highly recommend you buy it and read it. But anyway, back to Soundgarden. Okay, and coming at number 5 is Super Unknown from Super Unknown. Soundgarden embodies all of Led Zeppelin's swagger in this track, and it really does feel like an updated version of that band. Chris Cornell is channeling his inner Robert Plant when he hits those high notes, and again, just the whole vibe of the song. Plus, you get an amazing solo from Kim, and it is a song that feels super unique. I don't think they ever did anything quite like this before or since, so Super Unknown is definitely a track that stands out, and I'm happy having it at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Let Me Drown from Super Unknown. That intro riff is so badass. There, see, let's record that. That's just as good, right? My version. The subtle stops and ways that Matt Cameron changes up the drum beat each verse really adds a lot more flavor to what kind of is just like a straightforward metal song. That tom beat in the final verse, and when Chris Cornell is just crying out about going to the lonely place, excellent. Once again, an absolute banger of a chorus, and Let Me Drown is just one of those songs that you can show someone to kind of have them understand what Soundgarden is all about. Coming in at number 3 is Blow Up the Outside World from Down on the Upside. When I was going through this list again, I was surprised to see this song so high up, and then I re-listened to it again for this video, and yeah, it deserves to be number 3. Chord progression for the intro is great, and that chorus is absolutely mind-blowing. I think this song does a really good job of capturing the different sides of Soundgarden in one track. It's not their most experimental or psychedelic, and it's not their heaviest, but it does blend the two very well so that you can kind of get a little bit of everything from this one song. Coming in at number 2 is Limo Wreck from Super Unknown. I love this song, and it's one of their more straightforward kind of Black Sabbath-inspired songs. What a shock, I like it. First of all, I absolutely love these lyrics and the fact that they are gigantic fuck you to materialism and just these gaudy displays of wealth. Like, oh my god, look at you, you spent $5 million on a Lamborghini and then you converted it into a limousine and put a jacuzzi in the back. You're cruising around town, aren't you such hot shit? Oh, wow, it just got destroyed and it's absolutely wrecked. What a waste of money. Didn't mean a goddamn thing. A lot of people really do put a lot of emphasis on material things that don't mean anything at all. And I love that Soundgarden is just tearing down the idea that that's something that should be accepted. Anyway, rant over, back to the music. I also love that the riff seems simple, but I believe it's actually in 15/8, 2 measures of 6, and then a measure of 3. You get this great groove, but then every once in a while it kind of throws you off a bit with that fill. The song has big doomy riffs, great interplay between the 2 guitar parts, and Chris Cornell just belting out amazing lyrics like a madman. So yeah, Limo Wreck for me, second favorite Soundgarden song. Okay, and coming in at number 1 as the best Soundgarden song for me is Mailman from Superunknown. Dude, this song is fucking primal. It has an understated menace in the delivery of the vocals which perfectly matches the lyrics, and that riff is just biting. It's not Soundgarden's most dynamic or experimental song, but what it just does so well. It's just so plotting and heavy and vicious. That stop at the end where you just get a bit of guitar feedback right before it slams into the chorus and Chris just screaming, riding you all the way. Perfect. So there you go. Those are the top 20 best Soundgarden songs, according to me, at this particular moment in time. But enough about what I think. What are your favorite Soundgarden songs? Let me know in the comments below. And what are some killer songs that I left off the list? I love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, there's probably something popping up here you might also like. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, all of that YouTube stuff. I really do appreciate it. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you at the next video.